The Kailash Manasarovar Yatra 2025 is a government-to-government program between the Ministry of External Affairs and the Chinese government. The the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra was suspended after 2019. The last Yatra happened in 2019, and due to COVID, we have not had a Yatra since 2020, 2021, for 5 years, right? So it's being resumed this year after hectic talks between the government of India and the government of China. We've had 5 batches earlier. That means from 2015 to 2019, for 5 continuous years, we had the Yatra. And of course, in 2017, it was suspended due to the Dokulam crisis. That's what we learned. And then 2019 was the last Yatra that happened through Nathu La and KMVN, that is through the Uttarakhand La Pass, right? So this year is being resumed. We have the STDC is the nodal agency for organizing the Yatra from Yatra through the Nathu La border. What we do is the program starts on the 11th of June, where this year 11th of June 2025, the first batch of Yatris will report to Delhi. The STTC will have a team in New Delhi, whereby from the 11th to 14th they'll be taken for medical tests to ITBP camp, Tigri camp, ITBP. And after that, their passports will be collected, a visa will be applied for in the Chinese embassy, and certain things, and then of course the nodal officers will be there. There'll be some pool money for them, for their rations and all that during their stay in the TR, Tibet Autonomous Region, because the Yatra falls in the TR. So on the 15th, the Yatris will commence their journey. They come to Bagdogra, where STDC will have a team to pick them up through the SNT buses. We've applied for buses already, and we've been allotted 4 buses as of now. So 2 buses will be carrying approximately 50 Yatris to Gangtok, right? So in Gangtok, the very first day, they'll be staying at Sinolchu Lodge. They'll be briefed in the evening by the ITBP and the STDC. And after IT and evening dinner, the next morning they'll have breakfast. After breakfast, the Yatra will be flagged off from Gangtok. Prior to that, on the 14th, the Yatra will be flagged off at Delhi, right? So the Gangtok, like I am telling, so on the 15th, they'll travel from Gangtok to 17th mile, because the 15th mile acclimatization center is not very good. The 17 mile tourism and civil aviation, they're constructing the new Swiss type cottages. So we are taking our old furniture and all whatever belongings we have in the 15th and the 17 mile acclimatization centers. So this center is being readied, and we are hopeful by the end of this week the centers will be ready, except for the approach road, which is of course you must have seen is a little soggy. That is also being done. They will spend 2 days in the 17 mile acclimatization center. So we will have our cooks, we will have our own room boys and all that. We'll take care of all the Yatris there for 2 days. They'll have daytime activities. They'll be taken for a brief walk, some yoga sessions and all that will be there. Spiritual talks will be there. After 2 days, they'll proceed to Sherathang. And Sherathang will be putting up them in that old acclimatization center that we had, the previous Yatras. That is being spruced up, and lots of repair work is to be done, because the place was not inhabited for 5 years. So lots of repair work is being done. It is being done, and hopefully by the end of this week, even that center will be ready, right? At Sherathang, the ITBP team joins the Yatris. There will be a team of 5 cooks and 5 cooks who will be accompanying the Yatris through the Yatra in the TR.
The Kailash Manasarovar Yatra is a very important yatra for not just pilgrims from the Hindu faith, but also the Jain and Buddhist faiths. Now, the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra is resuming through the Nathu La Pass after 5 years, and Sikkim, which is a state that's celebrating 50 years of statehood, is also happy to be able to facilitate the movement of pilgrims for this extremely religious, devout yatra that pilgrims undertake to Mount Kailash, which of course is very, very significant in the Hindu faith and also other faiths like I mentioned. But this time around, as Sikkim celebrates 50 years, it's also going to be organizing the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra, and NDTV of course has spoken to Mr. Rajendra Chetri, the Chief Executive Officer of the Sikkim Tourism Development Corporation, which is one of the nodal bodies that is actually organizing this. And he's of course laid out the schedule and how it's happening after 5 years and what arrangements are being made for pilgrims who will be undertaking this yatra. Now, NDTV of course has been to Nathu La Pass also. We've seen the number of tourists who are going there. But the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra is different because it's a government-to-government program, as Mr. Chetri says. It's organized, of course, by the Ministry of External Affairs in India, and there are talks that were held between the Chinese government and the and the Indian government, and of course earlier the yatra had to be suspended, firstly due to COVID, and of course in the previous 5 years also 1 year because of the Doklam crisis between India and China, there was an effect, but otherwise largely till 2019 it was happening through the Nathu La Pass, which is one of the highest mountain passes. It's of course a very, very tough pilgrimage again because of the high altitudes involved. The Sikkim government is already setting up all the acclimatization centers for pilgrims. The pilgrims will have to first report to Delhi, then of course there will be health checks, then they will fly to Bagdogra and from there to Sikkim, to Gangtok, the state capital, and then of course undertake that 60-kilometer journey to the Nathu La Pass, from where of course they will head into China to actually go and visit Mount Kailash, which falls in the TAR or the Tibet Autonomous Region. And of course the Sikkim government is making a lot of arrangements. There are two routes, one is of course through Uttarakhand, through another pass, and of course the second one is of course through the Nathu La Pass in Sikkim, and this is a very important trade route as well. It's of course something that is a very, very sensitive area as well. It's the international boundary with China and India, and of course the pilgrims will be going from there. And we've been tracking how this is being organized. Like I said, it's extremely important for Sikkim as well. Not only is it celebrating 50 years of statehood, which of course the Prime Minister is also expected to participate in the celebrations on the 29th of May, although a final confirmation is awaited on that. At a time when Sikkim is also trying to sort of organize the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra. And there are two routes, like I said, the Lipulek Pass through Uttarakhand and the Nathu La Pass through Sikkim. It's of course very, very religious and culturally significant, and it's only available to Indian citizens, and it has of course not happened a few years because of the military standoffs. But this year of course the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra is taking place, and you heard Mr. Chetri, the CEO of the Sikkim Tourism Development Corporation, speak to us. There are likely to be a total of 10 batches, and this is going to be spread over 21 days. And, each batch, of course, the first batch of pilgrims will depart from Delhi on the 15th of June and cross on the, 20th of June through the Nathu La Pass into China, and then of course the last batch will depart from Delhi on the 7th of August and cross through the Nathu La border on the 12th of August. Now, like I said, the Nathu La Pass is situated at a height of 14,450 feet, which is why you will need these acclimatization centers, because there is the possibility of people developing high altitude sickness, and therefore all these arrangements are being looked into by the Sikkim government. The Sikkim Tourism Development Corporation, you heard the CEO of the Sikkim Tourism Development Corporation speak to NDTV and explain how this yatra is being organized. It's a very, very significant yatra. It's a very, very sought after pilgrimage, and the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra is of course something that will take place this year through the Nathu La Pass. The Nathu La Pass, like you see it, like is the border between India and China in the state of Sikkim. It's a Himalayan pass, and of course the Kailash Manasarovar Yatra is taking place through the Nathu La Pass after a gap of 5 years. And it's being organized also through the Nathu La Pass. The nodal agency is of course the Sikkim Tourism Development Corporation. For more such videos where we go beyond the headlines and bring you the context in which the news developments are taking place, stay tuned to NDTV. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned to NDTV for all the news and updates, and do follow us on our YouTube platform for more such videos. Thank you so much for watching.